श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदाहृति श्रीवासरंग परकाल मुनित्रयाप्त लक्ष्मात्मरक्षणैतित्युगागमान्तम् आचार्य भक्ति परिपूतमनर्गशीलं गोपालदेशिकमुनिं गुरुमाश्रयामः पराशरमुनिं वन्दे कृतपूर्वान्निकक्रियं मैत्रेय परिपप्रच्छ प्रणिपद्याभिवाद्य च. So we have been enjoying and we have been blessed to enjoy Sage Parasara's narration to Sage Maitreya, his disciple. So last week we saw that Sage Parasara was narrating Srimad Ramayana. So he says, I feel extremely happy and excited to narrate the Ramayana to you. And you are listening very attentively. And in fact, it's not possible to give a Ramayana in half an hour, 30 minutes and say that's all. One can go on enjoying narration of Srimad Ramayana for years, for ages. And he continued to describe the Pattabhishekam of Lord Ramachandra Murthy. And it cannot be described at all to the fullest extent. Swami Parasara Maharishi himself says, if I have 100 years to narrate every detail, even then I cannot describe to the fullest extent. Perumal was surrounded by Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, Shugrivan, Angadan, Hanuman, everybody. And they were all serving the Perumal. Somebody was holding the umbrella, somebody was giving a fanning kainkariam because he was having sweat droplets on his forehead. The ceremony was attended by Devatas. And Lord Chaturmukha Brahma, the four-faced Brahma, Rudran, everybody appeared, attended, participated the Pattabhishekam. And Perumal Sri Rama was eulogized, praised, Mangalasasanam by Sage Vasishta, Sage Valmiki, Sage Vamadeva. The whole place was filled with divinity. And of course Rama ruled the earth for 11,000 years. And they say during the rule of Lord Sri Ramachandra Murthy, Bharata defeated about 300 millions of Gandharvas in a battle. And Shatrughna fought against Lavanasura, the son of Madhu, and he established the city of Mathura, Shatrughna. Perumal removed all the evil forces during his rule. Paritranaya sadhunam vinachaya dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Whenever there is a decline of dharma, in order to protect the sadhus and to destroy the evil, he comes again and again every yugam. After the completion of 11,000 years, Sri Ramachandra Murthy went back to his lokam, along with Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, and every person who stayed with love, with dedication to Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, including the beings, grass, pull, pund, everything attained Rama's along with Rama. So, Karpar, Rama Vinare, Allal, Matrum, Karparo, why would anyone learn anything but Rama? So those people who listen to the history of these four supreme personality, Sri Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, will be completely freed from all papams. Sage Parasara mentions. So none other than the Maharishi says that. So may you all be blessed with divinity and the auspiciousness. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Now Sage Parasara begins to narrate the Yadu dynasty, the Lord Krishna's chronicle of Lord Krishna. And let us beautifully enjoy the Shyamantaka Mani Upakhyana, the Shyamantaka gem. There was a gemstone by name Shyamantaka Mani, which Sage Parasara mentions this anecdote of Shyamantaka Mani with Krishna to Sage Maitreya before narrating the Krishna avatar, because the Parashara wants to draw the attention of Maitreya to the Kalyanam of Satyabhama with Krishna. Satyabhama married to Krishna, That is with the Shamantakamani Upakyanam, Shamantakamani anecdote. Satyabhama is the incarnation of Bhumi Pirati, Bhuma Devi, while Rukmani Pirati was the incarnation of Sri Devi Nachiyar, Mahalakshmi. So in Purusha Suktam it says Hrishchate Lakshmischa Patnyau. Hri and Lakshmi are Vishnu's Patni, which comes in Purusha Suktam. Purusha Suktam talks about Purushan, everywhere Purushan, Purushan, Purushan. And finally he says that Purushan is none other than the person whose Patnis are Hri and Shri. Hri is Bhuma Pirati, Sri is Mahalakshmi. So through Rukmani Kalyanam, Pirati teaches us how Jivatmas can attain Perumal by simply falling in love with him. Bhuma Pirati as Satyabhama in the role of recommendation, in the role of mediatrix. She is the mother who recommends us to Perumal. And Bhuma Pirati appeared as Andal, Goda, and she also recommends us to Krishna. That's why she blessed us with Trippavan. So it is because of Bhumi Pirati, the holy waters of Ganges, the Ganga Nadi, Ganga Tirtham, flows even through our shower every year on the Deepavali day. When we take bath at 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. before sunrise, everybody asks, Inna Swami, Ganga Snanam Acha. So, did you have the Ganga Snanam? Regardless of the Snanam is from the bucket or from the tap or from the shower, the Snanam is deemed to be Ganga Snanam. So, because of Bhuma Pirati, because she blessed us with this Deepavali incident, Deepavali festival, the holy waters of Ganga flows through our tap regardless of where we are every year. And Sage Parasara begins with the wedding of Satyabhama Pirati with Lord Krishna. So it is with her permission Lord Krishna destroyed Narakasura. And as the purpose of Krishna Avataram is to remove the burden of earth. Means Vayyam Shubhapadam Vambu. Those who do not understand Krishna, who are not devoted, are all useless to the earth. They are a burden to the earth. Sage Parasara narrated about the wedding of Satyabhama, the incarnation of Bhuma Pirati and Nachiyar with Lord Krishna. So let's just enjoy the story, the anecdote, the beautiful incident where Shamantakamani reaches and how it is related to Krishna. So Satrajit and Prashenan were the two sons of Nignan. So just mark the names. Satrajit and Prashenan were the two sons of Nignan. They lived in Dwaraka. Satrajit was an ardent, very strong, staunch devotee of Lord Surya Bhagavan. He did Surya Namaskaram every day, and pleased with his bhakti, impressed with his bhakti, Lord Surya appeared before Satrajit one fine morning. Satrajit was unable to see the form of Surya because he was so bright. He was not able to even see. His eyes were blinded by the brilliant effulgence of the Surya surrounding the Lord Surya. So he requested the Lord. He closed his eyes. He says, I am not able to visualize and enjoy the beauty of yours, Surya Bhagavan. Please reveal your pleasing form. Hide your effulgence. Lord Surya immediately removed a chain with a pendant which is made out of Shamantaka Mani, Shamantaka gem he had on his neck. It's a pendant. As soon as Lord Surya removed the chain, he became beautiful, visible to Satrajit. So he could see the sun god, and Lord Surya looked very beautiful with a beautiful complexion which resembled like a polished polished, shining copper. So, Satyajit, I am pleased with your bhakti towards me. I wish to reward your bhakti, your dedication, your devotion, your unconditional, unflinching bhakti on me by granting you a varam, a boon I would give you. So Satyajit requested Lord Surya because he saw that Shamantaka mani in his hand. So he saw that, may I be blessed with the chain that you were wearing with the Shamantaka mani. So Lord Surya gave Satyajit, his ardent devotee, the chain with the Shamantaka mani. But he cautioned him, mind you, this is not an ordinary money. This is not an ordinary gemstone. It's not that you can buy from the Forest Plaza. It is the chain that will bring 8 barams every day. 8 barams means approximately 600 kilo of gold every day to the owner, to the home of anyone who owns this Shamantaka mani. It comes to your house every day, 600 kilo of gold, if you own this Shamantaka mani. But you need to be extremely pure, orthodox, clean, and there should be any impurity in your hand, in your conduct, in your behavior, in your approach to the gem. You should be in accordance with scriptures. You should have an austere life. Then the gem. But if you stay away from that, if you are unorthodox, if you go awry, like me, like us, if you go, the gem will not tolerate that behavior. It will bring great misfortune to the person who strays away from the path of the Vedic tenets, from the path of the Shastras. So you have to be in accordance with Shastras and the Vedic tenets and lead a pure, austere life. Need to have a clean and should never be impure in your action, in your behavior, in your conduct, in your habits. And saras means not just washing hands with soap and having a sanitizer alone is not enough. Even talking ill, even behavior, everything. So Satyajit went to see Lord Krishna to show off his gem. Because Krishna was the local chief king, so he wanted to show to Krishna and to show off that I have this gem. So the people mistook Satyajit for as Lord Surya himself because he was so shining with the gemstone. So Satyajit was feeling bad that he could not impress Krishna with the gem. And Satyajit in Krishna's Sabai, in Krishna's palace, he was bragging about this gem. I got it from Surya. Lord Surya himself gave it to me. He said, this gem gives me 600 kilos of gold every day. It not only offers gold, it also protects me from all kinds of danger. It prevents the occurrence of any mishap, any famine, any drought. And it will have the place full of fertility, and everybody would be blessed with auspiciousness. Such a powerful gem. So Krishna said, such a powerful gem. He was a king. Krishna said, such a powerful gem should be used for the welfare of the public. It is not proper for one individual to enjoy these benefits conferred by the gem. Now that you have revealed the power of this gem and it is able to generate 600 kilos of gold every day, mind you, sir, you will no longer be safe because people have heard. You have drawn the undue attention of each and everyone in this kingdom and they all would be jealous of you. Someone might try to harm you in order to steal that gem. So it is better you turn it over to the king who rules this Dwarka. It was given to Ugrasena, so you can stay safe, advised Lord Krishna. You can stay safe give it to the local king. Satyajit refused to hand over the gem to Krishna. He decided that the gem will no longer be safe in Dwaraka because Krishna has an eye on it. He mistook that Krishna's advice was that he was jealous of Satyajit for owning that gemstone. Krishna doesn't care. He is above all. He is Sarveshwaran because he himself is a wonderful mani. Lord Krishna Kulasekara Alvar mentions in Mukundamala, Bhaktapaya Bhujanga Garudamani Strailokya Rakshamani Gopi Lochana Chatakam Pudamani Saundarya Mudramani Yakantamani Rukmani Ganakuja Dwantvaika Bhushamani Shreyo Devashikhamani Dishatuno Gopala Chudamani. He is the gem. He is Rukmani's precious gem. And he removes the dukkam. He is a Garudamani which removes the dukkam, the snake of our dukkams, our sorrows. And he is the Rakshanartha Mani for the three worlds. He is Saundarya Mudramani. He is the beauty personified. And he is a Gopala Chudamani. He is the Chudamani of the Gopa Gopikas. And may he bless us with all Shreyas, all auspiciousness, sage Kulasekara. So, Alvar mentioned so beautifully, but this Satyajit was going astray with the gemstone given to him. So Satyajit thought Krishna would steal, so it is better to take it out of Dwaraka. He and his brother Prashenan, they wanted to take it out of Dwaraka. So he gave it to Prashenan and he says, take it out. So Prashenan left Dwaraka with the gem hanging around his neck. He went out of Dwaraka. Very soon he had to stop there for his nature's call. On the way he was traveling for hours and he had to go for the nature's call. But it should be done with pure, the Shamantakamani should be handled with the purity in body, purity in mind, purity in speech. So he did not follow the procedure to clean himself after the nature's call. He made the mistake of wearing the gem while attending the nature's call. So he failed to clean himself and hence he incurred the wrath of the anger, the rage of the gem. The glowing red gem attracted a lion which thought the gem was a piece of meat. So the lion jumped on Prashenan and killed Prashenan. The lion tore the chain from Prashenan's neck and carried away in his mouth the necklace, the pendant to its cave. It went. On the way, the lion was met by the huge bear, not a teddy bear, the Jambavan. There was a bear by name Jambavan. The Jambavan, the same Jambavan we had heard in Srimad Ramayana. And Srimad Ramayana, the old Jambavan was the one who helped Hanuman to know his strength and jumped across the ocean. So Jambavan is the one who had helped Lord Rama during Ramayana. As Jambavan was no ordinary bear, he easily killed and attacked the lion, took the gem from it. Jambavan went home to his cave and used the gem to amuse his newborn son. Jambavan was overwhelmed by the desire to get his beautiful Apsara daughter, the most beautiful daughter he had, by name Jambavati. So she was of marriageable age and lived with Jambavan in the cave. So in the meantime, now scene changes. In Dwaraka, Satyajit was worried because his brother Prashenan did not return to Dwaraka. So he started to blame Krishna for Prashenan's death because Prashenan is not hurt. So he went in search of Prashenan. He found himself killed by the lion and there was no gemstone on his neck. So he started blaming Krishna for it. He thought Krishna had taken. So Krishna, because he knew what had happened, but to clear his name in front of the public for all the citizens, Krishna, along with his army, went in search of Prashenan's body, and they found out the whereabouts of the gem and the Prashenan's fate. He stationed his men outside Jambavan's Guhai, the cave, and entered the cave, Jambavan's cave. Krishna entered by himself. He concealed himself in Jambavan's cave. He hid behind, and he watched the nurse, the babysitter, sing a lullaby to Jambavan's son, Sukumara. They were singing. He said, "Don't cry, Sukumara. The lion killed Prashenan. Your father killed the lion. The hush, little baby, for this gem is now yours. Sleep, Sukumara, sleep. Talelo, talelo." And they said, "The lion killed Prashenan. Your father killed the lion. Now hush, little baby. This gem is now yours." So Perumal, Lord Krishna, entered the baby's room secretly so that he can take the gem from the cradle. As he was about to take the gem from the baby boy, which was hanging above the baby boy, the babysitter, who was dozing off, noticed suddenly Krishna and yelled in fear, "Oh, somebody is taking out the gem." So Jambavan immediately rushed into the room from a nearby room inside the cave and challenged Lord Krishna for a fight, for wrestling, because he did not understand that this Lord Krishna is none other than Sri Ramachandra Murthy, whom he was in so much devotion, so much fond of, whom he had respected so much. So, but the fight, the wrestling went on for 28 days. How many days? 28 days. Because Jambavan was equally strong, and Krishna led Jambavan, his devotee, his friend from the previous avataram, have an upper hand during most of the time. So by end of the 12th day, Lord Krishna's men, the army who were standing in the cave, in the front of the cave, assumed that Krishna must have been killed by the Jambavan. So they did not enter into the cave. They returned to Dwaraka without Krishna, and informed Krishna's father Vasudeva that Krishna unfortunately had met with his end. And everyone, including Vasudeva, including Devaki, Rukmini Pirati, grieved. They were struck with sorrow for Lord Krishna. They were performing and trying to prepare for the final funeral rites, including offering of Pindam and Shraddam and all that. So Lord Krishna had performed this Leela to show us the greatness of the Shraddam ritual, why one should perform the Shraddam. So the food offered by Vasudeva in the Shraddam for Krishna, whom they think has passed away, he offered, and that was actually communicated, conveyed through the yagam, Shraddam, to Lord Krishna himself, visibly. The Lord fought with Jambavan with vigor, with strength, because of the food offered by Vasudeva. So Jambavan slowly weakened because he never had food. He was continuously fighting for so many days, whereas Krishna is being offered the right food, annam, through the Shraddam. So at the end of 28 days, Jambavan realized with the sankalpam of Perumal that he was wrestling with Lord Sri Rama himself. "Oh my God, are you by any chance Lord Rama? You do look like my Lord, except for the peacock feather on your crown." And Lord Krishna appeared before Jambavan with the divine bow and the arrows as Lord Rama. So Jambavan was extremely elated, excited to be in the presence of Rama. after so many years. So he offered the hand of his daughter Apsara Jambavati in marriage to Krishna. As their wedding gift, Jambavan presented Krishna with the Shamantaka gem and many jars of honey. After all, Karadi, the bear, had bottles and bottles of honey, pure honey, no polluted. So Lord Krishna returned to Dwaraka with his new bride and the Shamantaka. Satyajit felt bad that he had falsely blamed Krishna, and he offered his daughter Satyabhama in marriage to Lord Krishna. In gratitude, Satyajit had earlier promised the hand of Satyabhama to Akrura. Satyajit had promised Satyabhama to marry her off to Akrura. And at a later date, he was approached by Kritavarman, who also wished to marry Satyabhama. Instead of informing Kritavarman that he had already promised to Akrura, Satyajit agreed for marrying her to Kritavarman also. He promised Satyabhama to a third person called Shatadvana, Shatadhanva. So three people. One is Akrura, then Kritavarman, then Shatadhanva. Even though he had promised Satyabhama to the above three people, now in gratitude and out of fear and to please Krishna, he gave Satyabhama in marriage to Lord Krishna, because that is the Sankalpam. Satyabhama took the avataram, the Bhumi Pirati, as the daughter of this Satyajit in order to marry Krishna only, as he had broken the promise he had made to Akrura, Kritavarman and Shatadvana. Trouble brewed in the life of Satyajit. The trouble started coming. So all the three now are beginning to take revenge on. So Satyabhama is now married to Krishna. Satyajit gave the hand of Satyabhama to Krishna. He had already promised to Akrura, Kritavarman and Shatadhanva. Hurt by the promises broken by Satyajit, all three are deciding to take the revenge, as they felt cheated. Akrura, we know, that was a great staunch devotee of Lord Krishna, but now he is ready to seek revenge. In the meanwhile, the news of the demise of 5 Pandavas in the wax mansion, the Meligu Maligai, which was planned by Duryodhana to kill the Pancha Pandavas, in the wax palace. They wanted to burn the wax palace, thereby the Pandavas would be charred to death. And it was known to them, so they escaped through a tunnel. And Lord Krishna was aware that the 5 brothers and their mother Kunti had already escaped the fiery death. But Duryodhana thought they have been charred to death, because the Pandavas had received confirmation from Vidura that the Pandavas were safe. To prevent any doubt in Duryodhana's mind and to stopping him from harassing Pandavas, Krishna went to Duryodhana's palace and offered his condolences to the Kuru family for the Pandavas being burnt. So Krishna went to Duryodhana's palace, knowing fully well that the Pandavas had already escaped, with the tip given by Vidura about the plan, mischievous plan conceived by Duryodhana. Now, as soon as Krishna left Dwaraka to offer condolences to Duryodhana, Akrura, Kritavarma and Shatadhanva decided that this is the best time to finish Satyajit. They plotted to kill Satyajit. The 3 of them reached the mansion of Satyajit at night. Akrura guarded the back entrance, while Kritavarma watched the front entrance. Shatadhanva entered the palace secretly. He went inside the Satyajit's bed chamber he stabbed the sleeping Shatrajit to final finish. Before leaving, he took the Shamantaka mountain from Shamantaka Mani from the Shatrajit's neck. The three friends decided that the gem will be safe with Akrura because he was a devotee. They parted the company after making a vow to each other that they will not speak with anyone about their involvement in the death of Shatrajit, in the murder of Shatrajit to anyone. The next morning, Satyabhama discovered the fate of her father Shatrajit. So she immediately rode her chariot to meet Lord Krishna at Hastinapuram. It is not that she could just SMS or message Krishna that my father passed away. Even though Lord Krishna felt happy that Shatrajit, who was an Asura by nature, had been removed from the Bhumi, he consoled Satyabhama and grieved for his father-in-law. He had to. He left with Satyabhama for Dwaraka. Bhumi Pirati told Krishna about her suspicion that father's murderer could be Shatadanva because they were all promised to marry off Satyabhama. So in the meantime, Akrura also felt apprehensive, felt scared that his involvement in the death of Shatrajit would come to light and he would be caught. So in order to remove his fear, he decided to leave Dwaraka with the gem. He went to Kashi where he conducted many yagams by utilizing the gold generated by the gem. So now that the time is over, so we would continue with this most wonderful anecdote next week. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namah. Dhanyosmi Swami.